welterweight one time because they forced me to. I didn't want to do that. They made me. I look like Skeletor. That was not fair. You know what I mean? You can't let a man be a thick boy a little bit.
Helen Yee with Eyes on the Game here, being joined by the one and only Mr. Jason Mayhem Miller. We're in front of a freeway. I caught you here. We were just kind of walking around, and then I was like, oh, that's Mayhem.
The offices of Mayhem Martial Arts. We're worldwide. Thanks for stopping. Towel?
Yeah, you just got done training, I see, right?
Yeah, well, you never really stop training. If you're a true martial artist, you're just constantly on the grind. You know, I feel like there was a popular Instagram, right? Embrace. Something about embracing. I'm okay with that. To be honest, I feel like we all need to embrace the day.
Last time we did speak about Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I know you were really advocating on Tony versus Khabib. Obviously, unfortunately, that fight fell through. So Tony versus Justin Gaethje, what did you make of that fight?
The sport is very liquid, you know, and this crazy timeline that we're in, the reality of the situation is sometimes things got to change it up, you know. I thought it was kind of suspicious for Khabib just to zip back to Russia for a spa weekend and then get stuck there with Corona, you know. But I feel like he just bit off a little tougher than he can chew with Justin Gaethje now. Because if Gaethje comes on the door, God bless America.
Well, were you surprised that the way that Gaethje beat Tony?
No, not at all. No.
And what about, so now does that mean,
It's not that no, you're misunderstanding though. It's not that I was jumped off the Tony train. It's just styles make fights, and so this type of athlete combined, against this type of athlete, it's totally different than C. You know, so this MMA math is hard, and people think I'm playing favorites or nothing. No, I'm trying to divorce myself from emotion completely when I do an analysis for you guys, because it will infect me, and then I'll accidentally give you the wrong advice, right? So I just knew that Gaethje had the style-wise to make Tony look kind of, janky, because he just the footwork, while Tony's really good with dynamic movement, side to side, going back and forth. This guy is very creative in his stuff. Gaethje is just a push forward, okay, but not go ham like he did early in his career. If you watch the progression, he became a boxer. He was a slugger that turned into a boxer. So, and MMA boxing is completely different. We saw with Conor McGregor versus Mayweather, the distance is very different in the sports. So, the shots that McGregor did land were from the outside, leaping in kind of thing. And Gaethje has a style where he comes into the pocket, unloads with the barrage, then gets out this way, that way. His coaches really did something good with him.
But how do you think that Justin matches up against Khabib stylistically? Because even though he doesn't utilize it much in his fights, we all know that he has a strong wrestling background as well.
Yeah, so what? If he ain't wrestling all the time, then it ain't gonna be it's a non-issue. But the reality is, he was I don't know. I don't even know his stats, but I just know a good wrestler when I see it, and I really know a good defensive wrestler when I see it, because this guy has a different stance where he's kind of hunched over but tight abs where he can just catch you underneath. And I guarantee they'll bring in some good wrestlers to simulate. But there's no simulating Khabib. The work rate, the guy's fluidity, it's because he's been doing this thing since he was a little baby, and it's first nature, not second. He just knows how to grapple somebody. Gaethje got a similar pedigree. His daddy was making him wrestle, so it's one of those things where it's kind of the best, I feel like we should get on Gaethje's side right now. And all my Arab friends are going to be mad at me saying that too, but you know what I mean? I just want a good fight, and I think that if Gaethje's fired up, maybe they let him wear some different gloves so he can really hammer the guy. I think it'll be a good night of fights.
But who do you think would win that fight?
I don't know. When is the date? Projected date? I'd like to see some training footage for this one. I rarely even like get into those, before the behind the scenes type fight stuff because I know how you got to live. But it would be interesting just to see little clips of sparring. Or, okay, is Gaethje counter wrestling all the time? Oh, let's see who we brought in. That'd be a really nice look at what's going on. But at this time, both guys are like champs, like world-beating type dudes. Like, they're going to be around for a long time. So, let's get used to them. And Gaethje, look, he's the hot thing right now. Really feel like he shut everyone up, because Tony was rightfully, placed up real high and still can. This guy can make another run, good comeback, rehabilitation, get stronger, figure out some new stuff to counter that, and then maybe down the road we'll have Gaethje too. I don't know. It's up to the brass. I know Venus and Serena got a piece of the company, so if you're listening.
But what do you think should be next for Tony? I mean, some people were saying, should it be Conor McGregor?
Come on, man. Give him a fun guy. Give him a fun
Conor?
guy. That would be fun, but look, he came off the loss. Can't just put you to, come on, man. Conor's going to bring the money, bro. He's going to bring the butts to the seats. He's going to bring the fury. He's going to say funny shit the whole time. We're going to love him. So, Tony, look, man, you fought a tough motherfucker. And he shut you up this time. That's all right. Go back, you know what I mean? Box squats or whatever the hell you're doing over there. And get back at it, Put him against somebody, a fan favorite. Hey, what's up with Cowboy? Can he fight him? Oh, wait, that's a different weight.
Wait, he did fight Cowboy.
Oh, again?
238 UFC.
They should do that one every weekend.
That would be fun. But speaking of fun fights, lastly, Fight Island, UFC 251, that is coming up around the corner in a weight division that you fought at before, the welterweight division. Usman versus Burns. How do you see that fight playing out?
Oh, what? Well, I love how, I don't even look at the internet. I just get Helen Yee face to face suddenly to give me the news. Because I didn't even know that was happening. Fight Island?
I try, yeah.
Fight Island? Are they trying to rip off my fight yacht? I'm going to drive my fight yacht to the Fight Island. And we're going to have a party on the sandbar.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, last time Turtles showed up out of nowhere. I know. One had a plastic ring around his head. I saved him. Everybody gave me YouTube props. I'm sorry. I'm a little sad that the ocean has a lot of plastic in it. But that's another story.
Yeah, so we'll be in search of your yacht.
Is Burns the dude? Is he the dude?
I'm asking you. You're the expert.
You're the analysist.
You're the one that fought at welterweight before. What do you?
Welterweight one time because they forced me to. I didn't want to do that. They made me. I look like Skeletor. That was not fair. You know what I mean? You can't let a man be a thick boy a little bit.
But do you like Usman as the welterweight champ?
Oh, I mean, do I like him?
Bruh.
You gotta like him. I mean, look, the dude is like American Dream, pretty much. Like a American boy, right? He played up that Nigerian card, but, this dude is like American Dream. Welterweight champion of the world. Just strong wrestling pedigree. He did everything right. He went through all the channels of America, bam. And then suddenly this guy is the champion. And I'm glad to see it, Burns, I don't know if this guy is a real challenge. I have to do my research before I...
Well, he just beat Woodley.
Well, I understand that. But what I mean is, if I look at his catalog, I'll give you a proper analysis. But at this stage in the game, I haven't really looked deep into him. I knew he beat Woodley, okay? But I think Woodley hasn't really got back together. Like, he's like kind of figuring out a new style. Like, I can see it. So, and it didn't work out in this last fight, but I feel like he's figuring that out. So it's going to be interesting to see where Woodley goes. But this Burns guy, he's got a ticket to ride right now. That's a good opportunity. Huge opportunity because there's holes in everyone's game, including Kamaru Usman, who's like one of the best fighters. Like, I mean, really, arguably right now, it's like pound for pound almost. Like right now, well, let's see, can he adapt to Burns' new style? Can he figure out what the next steps are to make himself a more complete fighter? I'm very interested in both those young men's career.
And I'll have to follow up with you on that to get your breakdown. Yeah, before we find your yacht in front of Fight Island.
Well, I mean, do you have the GPS coordinates? Send me location.
You know what? I could get that for you when I get my phone after this interview.
All right, yeah. I appreciate you locking your phone up for me.
And lastly, nice nails. Love the purple and pink.
You know, we forgot all about Pride Month. We forgot all about it. You know, we had a lot of stuff going on, but we love you guys.